Keep that in mind. When you're doing something like healing tools, like the medical medium spinach soup, something changes. It's also addicting, so it makes you feel good for a minute, and then it makes you feel like you need more. Salt is really highly addictive. So that's another thing too. And like I said, your acclimation drops for things that you need salt from, and it raises for chips and stuff like that. Okay, so let's hit that. Why are you addicted to chips? How many of you guys, I want to ask you this question right here. Can you be honest? I know you guys will, because it's a medical medium community. So tell me this. Are you guys eating chips? Are chips getting in your way? Are you eating the really what's called clean chips or healthier chips? What kind of chips are you consuming? Give me a rundown on that if you guys want. How many bags of chips have you had in a month? Julie says, I've been addicted to chips. Congrats for being honest and telling me. That's amazing. Crispy, yeah, chips addict. Hey, listen, by the way, I'm not judging anybody on this chip thing. You need to know that. Like, I totally understand. Like, you need to know that I understand. I'm not judging you on any level. This is important. I'm not. Crispy, you're doing chips? Very addicted to salty snacks, says Kim Miller. Me. No, I see a no. Oh my God. Okay, so clean chips. You crave clean chips, right? So they're all better chips. Everybody, you guys are doing a lot of chips, right? Okay, I see a couple of names of some brands, right? Okay, I see another brand name of chips. Whoa, you guys are all doing that chip. No wonder why it sold for $1.2 billion. No wonder why it sold for $1.2 billion. You guys are eating all that company's chips. Amazing. All right, so here's what happened. So you're not doing your spinach soup. You're doing chips. That's what's going on. All right. There's no shaming here, and there's no judgment. I understand. Life is hard, and I understand. Getting a nice bag of what seems to be a healthier chip, salty and crunchy, completely understand. Okay? Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's a higher quality, right? A higher quality sea salt is usually added to like better stuff out there. You'll see sea salt, you'll hear that. So I want everybody to know, it's okay to use a little bit of salt if you want to use a little bit of salt. It's okay to use a little bit of a high-quality Himalayan rock salt or a sea salt, okay? So, like the meals, the medical medium meals at Cafe Gratitude on October 15th, they're easy on the salt, and they use a really high-quality sea salt, okay? But remember, it's not thrown in water and just thrown in water. Plus, they're easy on it. So I like a little bit of that here and there, okay? And I like that. But what happens is that restaurants put a ton of salt in stuff. I mean, they just put grams and grams and grams of salt in stuff. And those crunchy chips, yep, they're going to be salty. And they're going to have that edge. So here's the key. What has you coming back for those chips so you stay addicted is the salt content. Keep that in mind. Along with stuff like yeast extract in a lot of those different chips, along with natural flavors in a lot of those different chips, all different forms of sodium thrown in there, okay? And MSG and so forth. So that keeps you going. It's this addiction to salt. That's a big part of what it is. So you're going to want to go and get those chips because you want that salt. If you don't have salt on those chips, you will not be eating them. I promise you this, if they were saltless, you would have 3 chips a week at best. And you'd be looking for salt from something else to dip the chip in something salty. So you got to understand, it is the salt that you're addicted to. And that salt, over time, on that level, builds up in our organs and so forth. But it also knocks your ability away, your natural ability to gravitate and consume things like the spinach right here. It takes away your natural, like, palate and your body's natural connection to something like spinach. Instead, you're going to hear something out there, spinach is bad for you. Oxalates, oxalic acid. That's not true. That's not true. And this is a raw spinach soup. There's a big difference. Spinach is one of those things that if you cook spinach, some tannins can come out, okay? And that could be, one thing too. It happens when you cook spinach, a little tannin will come out. It'll make it taste weird, even slightly bitter. When it's raw, it is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Summer over there, let's see. I've been addicted to chips for my whole life. Recently, I started having spinach soup, and I don't desire chips as much. Is that a coincidence? You're getting the right amount of salt from the spinach soup into your bloodstream and into your body, and then you're intuitively connecting to all of that, psychically, intuitively, all of that. You're connecting to that whole thing. And then it's making it so you're like, I don't want those chips as much. I don't want to eat those chips as much. That's incredible. That is incredible. Okay? So here's how the industries work. Salt something and you will be a buyer and consumer for a lifetime. Make the chip somewhat a better, healthier chip, so-called better, healthier chip, and salt the crap out of it, and you will eat even more of them because in your mind, they are a healthier chip. So then you feel safer and better to actually consume that chip, and you're going to be addicted to that chip because of the amount of salt on that chip. And you are going to be a buyer of that chip for the rest of your life. What that sodium is going to do over time, it's going to build up in your organs, in your liver, and your brain and create problems. Another thing it's going to do, it's going to stop you from making the connection you need to make to a medical medium healing tool or a healing herb or healing green. It's going to prevent you from acclimating to something that could save your life and return your health back. And you'll be addicted to this other stuff that the salt's in. It'll be preventing you from actually learning how to consume the right kind of salt, which is what you see in my hand. And you'll pay for it one way or another as time goes on. God, you guys are so addicted to chips. Totally understand. Not making fun of anybody here. Fabian over there, it's like the more I put salt on my meals, the more I have cravings for chips or something. Yes, that's another thing too. That's how you eat more chips. So the thing is with chips, eat chips till you're sick. Eat chips till you're sick. The salt makes you want to eat the whole bag, eat the crap out of them, and then the next day eat another whole bag, the next night another whole bag. It makes you want more and more of it because of the salt. Yep. All right, rundown on sodium problems. Like I said, I talked about before. The conventional model for the blood test is wrong. It was gauged on the 1950s when everybody was using road salt, and it was done that way, and everybody had a salt diet. Okay, we still have salt diets now. Better salts, like I said, are happening. But yes, chips have oil too, but try to eat those chips with just oil with no salt, and you will not be happy. You will be a miserable customer. If you just have the chip with the oil on it, a healthier chip with healthier oil on it, maybe avocado oil, whatever it is, and you don't have the salt in there, you will not waste your money on those chips anymore. That will be that. All right. How come people have low sodium in many situations? They have low sodium because they're not getting any of the correct, vital, real sodium they need to be getting. From celery juices, from lemons, yes, lemons, from spinach, yes, spinach. Even cilantro has a little bit in there. They're not getting it from tomatoes. Tomatoes have a little bit of natural occurring sodium in it, which is incredible. Tomatoes. So these are things that are critical for people for their healing. That's the kind of sodium that resets everything. Talk about sodium. So the way you sustain sodium in your system, okay, is by getting sodium that's bonded and attached to other minerals. It stays in the bloodstream longer. And when it enters an organ, it doesn't get dumped as trash, meaning and piled in some corner. You got to understand that. Sodium won't hold a bond when it's in sea salt, like I said. It won't hold a bond when it's in, say, Himalayan rock salt of some kind or pink salt. It won't hold a bond long enough inside the body. It's a quick fix, meaning it's a quick hit is what it is. It's a quick hit. It won't hold the bond. And when it won't hold the bond, then it gets stored in the liver somewhere as a deposit of garbage, stored in the brain as a deposit of garbage, just like, guess what? MSG. Same thing. Stores and becomes garbage, trash salt, even if it was a great salt. What I'm saying is if you throw it in water, that happens. If you use a little bit of the pink salt and a really high quality sea salt in your food, I'm okay with that. Or should I say, Spirit of Compassion is okay with that. See, I've cured myself and many clients from potato chip addictions using spinach soup and leafy greens. They reduce salty, crunchy cravings. Boom!